Welcome to the Greater Cincinnati Regional Food Policy Council's Zoom event to celebrate the Great Lakes Great Apple Crunch. So this is an event to celebrate National Farm to School Month. The Food Policy Council is a collaboration of organizations connecting the dots across our region to create healthy, equitable, sustainable food systems. We are investing in the future of our food systems, and I want to take a moment to share with you how we are bringing our community together to feed our children and our future. So lack of food access and obesity are interrelated problems facing our communities. Within Cincinnati, about 46% of the population lives in areas with limited access to supermarkets where they would be able to purchase healthy and nutritious foods. And 72% of those with limited supermarket access live in low-income neighborhoods. Between 92 and 100% of the students at some of our partner schools are considered economically disadvantaged, which means they're relying on their schools for a significant portion of their nutrition and caloric needs over the course of the school year and sometimes the summers. According to Cincinnati Children's Hospital's most recent community health needs assessment, 36% of CPS students were obese or overweight in 2016, as compared to 33% in 2013, which means obesity is getting worse among our students. And food insecurity is highly correlated with obesity and health problems. Each year, food insecurity is estimated to cost Ohio as a state over $2.2 billion in healthcare. Children and their families must be provided access to healthy foods, as well as exposed to and engaged in learning about healthy foods to give them the tools to make healthy choices. Farm to school projects, which address nutrition in cafeterias, classroom education, school gardens, and communication among community partners, are known to be effective strategies for increasing students' nutrition and ability to live healthy lives. And this is why the Food Policy Council is involved in supporting and coordinating farm to school. Some of our recent successes and momentum in our region have included, in 2019, we worked with a coalition of partners and the CPS Food Service and School Board to adopt the Good Food Purchasing Program. This program leverages federal dollars in the school nutrition program to improve school nutrition and support local economies, valued workforce, sustainable food systems, and animal welfare. In March, before COVID hit, CPS was purchasing about 40% of their food spend locally. And this year, they've spent over 50% of their produce budget on local produce, which doesn't even include the Klosterman's bread and local dairy they are purchasing. These kinds of purchases are direct investments in local farmers and local employers who support our community's well-being. This past year, the Food Policy Council has been working with 5 school districts to develop district-specific and regional farm-to-school action plans for increasing local food in school menus, overcoming production and distribution barriers, integrating food production and nutrition education into classrooms, and better connecting the broader community to the school's farm-to-school programs. As part of that planning process, and thanks to the advocacy of our partners, a local school buying co-op is now putting a local food bid out that will allow more farmers to reach more schools. So we're already seeing great momentum around farm-to-school in our region. And the Food Policy Council is now moving towards trying to implement some of the action plan steps that were identified over this past year. I'm going to let Ann Schneider talk about Feed Our Future, which is a comprehensive program we'll be launching, but I want to share some of the other work we are going to be undertaking. We'll be partnering with the 2030 district and healthcare partners to try to enlist additional anchor institutions to adopt the GFPP purchasing policies that CPS has, which will increase CPS's bidding power and ability to acquire products that meet their standards at a lower price. We're going to be advocating for state and federal policies to create more spending flexibility for schools to be able to purchase more local food. And we're going to be taking on a host of other projects that are going to increase families' ability to buy local and eat healthy in order to leverage and maximize the impacts of the farm to school progress in our region. So now that I've had a chance to talk a little bit about what this Food Policy Council is working on and has succeeded at, I want to throw it over to Ann to talk about Feed Our Future. And then I'm going to ask everyone else on the call to give 1 or 2 sentences about why they're excited about farm to school. So Ann, you want to take it away?
Yes, thank you, Michaela. I am Ann Schneider, the Green Umbrella Farm to School Coordinator. Happy National Farm to School Month to everyone who's hearing this, and thank you for joining. I am just going to briefly speak about the Feed Our Future resources that we are going to begin piloting this month. I'm very excited. We have received USDA funding to pilot the program. It began in Cuyahoga County with the Cuyahoga County Health Department as a public health program to help provide educational resources and nutritious food to schools within the Cleveland area. So we're very excited to leverage their knowledge and resources and begin piloting it in the Cincinnati, greater Cincinnati area. The Feed Our Future program provides many resources. First of all, it provides communication tools to help tell the story of the farmers that the program supports, and additionally provides information in terms of the food, local food that's being provided to the schools in terms of nutrition, as well as how it's grown, and many other educational items there too. So it does it through a Harvest of the Month framework. So each month there's a focus on a seasonally grown and available item, and this month is apples, which we're doing Great Lakes Great Apple Crunch. There's additional educator resources and also technical support for school food service directors in regards to how to buy local, because it doesn't necessarily, come intuitively, but it can easily be done in terms of seasonality charts and menu substitutions and menu development. So we've had great success already through a past grant that we've had in our region in terms of getting more local food into the schools. And it's very doable, and we're here to help the schools tie it all together really in terms of the food in the cafeteria, the educational materials to help tell why and how you can do it at home as well. So thank you, Michaela.
Thanks, Anne. So I'm going to now alphabetically go through and ask everybody to just give 1 or 2 sentences about why they're excited about Farm to School and what's happening with it in our region. So first up is going to be Charlie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Charlie with Green Umbrella. And when I was a kid, I had no idea where my food came from other than it was a package on the shelf in the supermarket. And then as an adult, I spent 15 years studying all about nutrition and sustainability, learned about the environmental impacts of our industrialized food system, which has a big carbon footprint, has polluted our waterways, and has depleted both our soils and the nutrient density of the food that we eat. So I learned that restoring the connection between consumer and producer, between humans and our, is the foundation of creating healthy people and a healthy planet. And that's why I'm proud to support the important work of the Greater Cincinnati Regional Food Policy Council to bring this awareness into the classroom and local foods produced right here in our region into the cafeteria.
Thanks, Charlie. Nate, you want to go?
Yeah, no problem. I'm really excited to be part of this. It's just local food is really important for the environment. Local food, it doesn't have to travel as far. It comes to your plate, you kind of have a familiarity with it, and it reduces the greenhouse gases of the region as well as our globe, which is extremely important. We're all aware of the impacts that is having on our health and also our mental health right now. And it just benefits the local economy, and it supports our local farmers and our other producers, and getting kids to understand that will help.
Thanks. Nicole, you want to go?
Thanks, Michaela. I'm Nicole Gunderman from Gorman Heritage Farm, and as the Director of Education at a nonprofit farm, I am excited about Farm to School because it brings the important work that we do here at the farm right into the classroom and into the cafeteria. And Farm to School curriculum can hit learning standards in natural science, in health, in nutrition, but also literacy and math and systems thinking and social studies and economics. And so the options are really, really broad for as far as those types of learning standards. Also in the cafeteria, it can introduce children to the simple fact that fresh local food tastes great.
All right, thanks, Nicole. Up then is Rosie.
Thanks, Michaela. I'm Rosie Allen, University of Kentucky Nutrition Education Program. And of course, Farm to School, it educates students and in turn their parents on food and agriculture, teaching how locally grown food is healthy, delicious, and nutritious. And knowing where our food comes from, it enhances students' learning and perspective of connection to our community. And the bonus is, a side benefit that Nate had also mentioned about purchasing locally grown food, it also helps the local economy. One study from the University of Kentucky showed that $1 spent locally can turn over up to 7 times in the local economy. So students are learning not only about nutrition and healthy food, but also that local healthy food is good for the body and good for the economy.
All right, thank you, Rosie. And Ryan, last but not least.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Green Umbrella. And as a parent of Cincinnati Public School students, I am super excited that my kids have the chance to eat fresh local fruits and vegetables and other local foods as a part of their school breakfast and their school lunch. And I have seen firsthand by doing gardening with kids over many years how much more likely they are to try a food if they saw where it grew and even got to be involved in that, right? So a kid who might not normally gravitate towards radishes, once they have a chance to plant a seed and pull it out of the ground when it's ready, my kids gobble them up, which I never would have guessed. So it's really exciting to see how we can connect the dots between the food they eat in the cafeteria, some extracurricular activities, and also classroom integration to really create a win-win for everybody involved.
Thank you, Ryan. And thank you all of you for sharing your perspectives on why you see Farm to School is valuable and exciting in our region. For those who are maybe first now learning about Farm to School, you can see there's a lot of different activities that are related to it, and it can have a lot of different really positive impacts and value to different people. So I hope that this is something that sounds exciting to you and you might want to get involved with and support. There's 2 ways you could try to get involved if you're excited about this. One would be to join the Food Policy Council's Farm to School Action Team, which you can find information about our meeting schedule on greenumbrella.org/food-policy. Or if you would like, you could donate to the Food Policy Council, again, at greenumbrella.org. These kinds of donations are hugely critical to us being able to do this kind of collaborative work. We are often able to leverage private donations to about a 4-fold impact by securing national funding using those donations as matching dollars. So it is really a huge impact if you're able to donate. So we would love to have people be involved, and please feel free to reach out to me or Ann Schneider at Michaela@greenumbrella.org or Ann@greenumbrella.org if you want to learn more. Thank you. Oh, we've got to crunch into our apples. I forgot. All right, everybody. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, everyone, for participating.
Happy appling.